You're watching Work of Art on WHIG-TV, hosted by Beth Boykin of Framers Alley. Brought to you by Joyner's Funeral Home, serving our community for 4 generations. Located on Raleigh Road, Wilson. Allen Winstead, Farm Bureau Insurance, Wilson. Call 230-1704. Will Ferris Attorney, Ferris & Ferris Law Firm, located on Nash Street, Wilson. Womble Real Estate, proudly serving our community since 1958. Located at 602B Nash Street, Northeast Wilson. Call 291-1123. Framers Alley, custom framing, proud supporter of artists, Main Street, Elm City.
I'm Dan Finch from Bailey, North Carolina. I'm a potter, and I have a studio here on the farm. We grow blueberry plants, Bluebird boxes, and do pottery. And we have about 75 adult potters that come here every week during the week on Thursdays and take pottery. And then the second Sunday in November every year, we have an open house, and we feature about 60 of those potters. I used to teach school, and they offered a pottery course at Wilson Tech. It was not Wilson Community College at the time, and I went over and took the course and was immediately hooked. And then I went to Penland 3 different summers, part of the summers, and took pottery. Also, I've taught at Nash Community College, which was Nash Tech at the time, and then eventually I had enough people where it was better to just teach it here, because teaching pottery or teaching art is something, especially for adults, is a type of thing where people can't put their life on an exact schedule. They may have jobs, they may have husbands, they may have children, school things, vacations getting in their way. So we open a studio up here every Thursday all day long for night people and day people. And the clay thing is just phenomenal as to what you can do with clay. We do all types of things. We do raccoon, we do gas firing, we do electric firing, and anything that you want to step out into you can do. The only thing we do not do is basic ceramics. But the pottery has been very good here. Like I said, we have people from all over the state come in to take pottery, even a couple from Virginia that come in to take pottery, a couple from the coastal regions come in to do pottery here, and it gets to be one big family. We're about a half a mile down a dirt path here off Highway 581 north of Bailey. And when people come in to do pottery, I tell them the one thing I want is for them to go out of the path feeling better because they were here. We do not have requirements. Each person can put requirements on themselves. There is one requirement though, and that's to clean up behind yourself. But I want people to feel better because they were here. They can become a professional potter, or they can just do it as a joy or as a pastime. I used to think that the most difficult part is making a large pot. The most difficult part is putting a little bit of yourself into each pot. I was making pots, production pottery one time, and I was just making the bowls. I can throw 100 bowls an hour if I need to, but they all were just bowls, and they were nice bowls. And I had this one student came by and said, "Dan, you need to put a little bit of soul from your soul in every pot." And that's probably the most difficult thing to do, no matter was a large pot or a small pot, to put a little bit of feeling in everything you make. And I guess that would be in any type of art. It's real interesting because a potter usually spends about 20% of the time making the pot. The rest of the time it's in finishing the pot, drying the pot, firing the pot, glazing the pot. There are also in sales and displaying and everything. There are a lot of other things relative to the pot rather than just making the pot. But I'll make thousands of pots in a year. And another thing you might like to know, if you work for the North Carolina Department of Agriculture or the North Carolina Forestry Department, when you retire, you get a Dan Finch bowl for your retirement. And the people like that instead of getting a little silver watch or a plaque or something. And I'm real humbled by the fact that they do get that, and I like to have that.
Hi, I'm Beth Boykin, and welcome to Work of Art. Tonight we're so pleased to have Dan and Amy Finch with us, and I enjoyed the intro so much. That was just a wonderful intro. You did a great job, Dan, and we're going to learn a little bit about making pottery tonight and also an upcoming show. So thank you for coming out. And I understand it's kind of a special occasion tonight, so we have a birthday boy and an anniversary, 14th anniversary, so what a special night for us to have you here. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us.
We're looking forward to learning a lot. And in the intro, I noticed there was one thing that kind of caught me was that you're on the farm, you're on the family farm, and that means a lot to you, I know. So is there anything that you want to tell us about how rewarding that is just to be where you're doing and what you're doing?
It has been a good atmosphere to do the pottery on the farm. Also, we have a nursery, Blueberry Nursery, and we have Homes for Bluebirds, and it's all incorporated together, the nursery, the farm, and the pottery, all in one conglomerate.
Right.
And so they're both supportive of each other in a lot of ways, in the atmosphere, in the needs, in the material needs. We need a forklift to lift some clay,
Right.
whatever.
You've got it right there.
Got it right there.
How about that? Well, now, and also I know you've got a special little guy at the farm too, and I didn't see a picture, but Amy shared with us about the new puppy, Zach, so we might get a little information about him shortly. But we're going to find out what a potter does, so I think the best way, Amy, don't you think, is maybe look at Dan making a vessel of some kind?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that would
be
he can
great.
walk us through that.
Yeah. Lee, is it possible to bring up that video that was made? There we go. And Dan, can you kind of tell us what's happening?
This is called throwing, and the reason it's called throwing is not because you pitch or toss the clay onto the wheel head, because the original definition of the term to throw is to twist or turn. For instance, most people can relate to that. It's like if they throw their back out, they don't toss it or pitch it, they twist it or turn out. So making a pot on a wheel is called throwing, the term, and most people still don't know that. There's a lot of other things relative to that. You first center the clay, which makes your balance in the clay, and then you open it up, you're making the bottom, and then you're pulling it up to make the pot. And there are a lot of different types of clay. You have stoneware, earthenware, porcelain. This particular one here is made out of porcelain. Most porcelains are white clays. Most of your stonewares are either brown or buff because it has iron in it. This clay does not have any iron in it. It's all clear with just a porcelain clay. And then like I was mentioned earlier, making the pot is the easy part. It's the next part is you got to clean it up. You've got to let it dry. You've got to fire it. Then you have to glaze it, and then you'll have the finished product.
So now you're getting ready to do something. Amy explained you're going to finish it off right here or shortly. So how do you know when it's done? How do you know when it's finished?
That's a good question. I tell all of my students the most important thing is knowing when to stop.
Right, and I wouldn't.
And so there we know when to stop, and we'll stop, and we'll just make the pot.
Okay.
And this pot is actually in a bisque kiln right now, being bisque fired, which is the first firing.
Right.
And I should mention too, most people think about pottery. The tiles on the space shuttle are pottery.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's a different type of ceramics. Ceramics is pottery.
Okay. Well, that was interesting because my pot would be like it would just keep going until it failed. So that is fun.
Or flew off the bat, right?
Off the bat,
right.
Exactly. Well, Dan, I know that was educational. I've never even held clay except for clay dough. So, and I guess, I mean, people that start, is it something that they just...
The interesting thing about clay is it's very malleable, and you hand build, or you can throw, or you can do the combination thereof. There's so many facets in which you can work clay.
Right.
And all different types of clay, different firings. different glazes and
Well,
things.
that's what, now just was writing down, like you've got, to me, it was like salt glazed, and I don't know what that term is, but is that a?
Yeah, the salt glaze, we do not have a salt kiln at the time, but I've had 2 salt kilns. Salt's pretty hard on a kiln, and
Right.
it doesn't last a lot of firings, but salt glazing is a type, and we could talk all night on
Not
salt
about
glazing.
those,
Yeah.
okay. Well, Lee, I think there was a little picture we had about the Bluebird boxes. If you could just bring up a couple of those, let's see what we have there. Amy, do you want to go for it?
Sure. One of our passions at Finch Farm is the building of Homes for Bluebirds. Homes for Bluebirds was started by Jack Finch back in the 70s when he realized that bluebirds were not as prevalent or highly populated anymore, and that they were becoming almost extinct.
Oh, goodness.
And so Mr. Jack started researching the various homes for bluebirds,
Right.
and the bluebirds really selected the home because he would see what homes the
Right,
bluebirds
right,
would like, and then
right.
he kept building homes until they stuck with one,
Right.
and then that design is the one that he continued to build.
Right.
We currently grow paulownia trees, which is the Chinese empress tree, on the farm, and build the houses at the farm and sell
okay.
them. Mr. Jack was featured on National Geographic Today, and he was also featured on the CBS Evening News Earth Day.
How about that?
When Dan Rather was the anchor.
How about
And
that?
so he was featured on one of the first, if
Right.
not the first, Earth Day
How about
on
that?
CBS. So we're very proud of
I
Homes for
know.
Bluebirds. I think that's where my passion is
Is the
at the
bluebirds.
farm.
Oh,
is that
yeah,
they're just miraculous little birds.
And they come back every year? or
Yes,
they-
they bring their families.
Oh.
Their fledglings come back, and they will either nest close by,
How about that?
or in some cases, for the second and third clutches in the season, the first clutch will help feed the second and third
How
clutches.
about that?
So it's pretty
It's
interesting.
pretty interesting. And the boxes are still made on the farm,
Yes.
so that makes it even more special.
Yes.
Now, are they for sale? I mean, how does one go about obtaining bluebird boxes? I mean,
At our open house, we will have bluebird nesting boxes for
Boxes.
sale.
Okay, well, good.
With the Finch Nursery with the
Okay,
blueberry
right.
plants, and that's Sunday, November 10th from 10 to 5.
Right.
And we continue to build houses throughout the year.
Right.
And they're available all year long.
well, that's great.
And Homes for Bluebirds is a nonprofit organization. My father put all his money and time into it, and we're still putting a
Isn't
lot
that
of money and time
special?
and donation to it. So it's not a for-profit.
For-profit. Well, that
It's
is
for the
just
birds,
such
and
a
it's
kind, precious thing to do.
And like I said, open house, which will be the second Sunday in
No-
November every year, which will be November, Sunday the 10th this
10th,
year.
Well, so we'll be able to see some bluebird boxes there.
Absolutely.
Well, Lee, let's go to the next. Okay, there's the blueberries. So we know blueberries, bluebirds, blueberries. So we know they're kind of scrumptious, and I bet you eat blueberries a lot, both of you, don't you?
Dan more than I.
Okay. Well, that's neat. All right, Lee. Let's see the next piece.
We have the blueberry nursery and grow the plants.
Yeah, there you go. All right, there. Okay, and looks like you're surrounded there.
Yep, I got a few of my pots sitting there, and so these are some of them are wood fired. In fact, most of those were fired in the wood kiln,
Right.
which is the Antig kiln.
Well, that is neat. Okay, Lee, maybe now that's nice. That's a great big one there.
Yep, that's the larger one,
That's
and that
neat.
has some ash glaze on it, basically.
Right. Okay.
And the little runs are melted glass. That's fired to cone 10, which
Okay.
is about 22,380 some degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. Now, is that applied after the?
No, during the firing.
During the firing. Okay.
That's wood fired, and the
fired.
natural ash in the kiln during the wood firing provides the glaze.
The glaze. How about that? Okay.
Yep, you can, yep.
And there you are. What? Tell us what you're doing there.
Well,
'cause-
I'm finishing off a larger pot there,
Right.
and That takes a while to make one that size, but once you get it finished, she's in good shape.
That's exactly right. Well, just a little bit about, we're going to go to a break in just a moment, but Lee, can you show the jug? We've got a nice piece of pottery here on the table, and I don't know if you can show that right now or not, but we were just talking about the soul that is in the pottery, and I think this is a great piece that you can actually say that is you.
Well, I was raised on a tobacco farm, raised between the tobacco rows.
Right.
And so tobacco is next to my heart and in memories and everything, and also Amy was.
There you go.
So the deal is, this is a tobacco barn jug, one that's in a lot of the different museums around the country. And then I make these in the jug, by the jug, and then on the back have a tobacco leaf.
Isn't that something? And I can honestly say, Dan, I think your soul is in that jug.
It is. I agree with you on that.
I agree. That is
no
definitely. Well, we are going to be. Oh, and then the plate. Have we?
Yeah,
I guess that's
this is a plate. This is stoneware. Has porcelain slips on it. Has like an apple green celadon glaze over some
that is beautiful.
Porcelain slip on the edge, on the rim, and then it has a red glaze on the inside. This is fired in a gas kiln to cone 10 reduction firing.
That is nice. That is. Well, I'm so glad you brought those, because to me these are just beautiful pieces of work, and
thank you.
I'm just so glad you have them and we can actually see them and touch them. So,
yeah.
But
well, on the way over, Amy says you need to make more of those.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
She's my encouragement.
There you go, Amy. Well, we're going to take a short break right now, and on the other side of the break, we're going to have some more photos of pottery.
You're watching Work of Art on WHIG-TV, hosted by Beth Boykin of Framers Alley. Brought to you by Joiner's Funeral Home, serving our community for 4 generations. Located on Raleigh Road, Wilson. Allen Winstead, Farm Bureau Insurance, Wilson. Call 230-1704. Will Ferris Attorney, Ferris & Ferris Law Firm. Located on Nash Street, Wilson. Womble Real Estate, proudly serving our community since 1958. Located at 602B Nash Street, Northeast Wilson. Call 291-1123. Framers Alley, custom framing, proud supporter of artists, Main Street, Elm City.
Welcome back. We're with Dan and Amy Finch and talking about pottery and the upcoming show. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about the show that's going to be this Saturday and Sunday? Is that correct?
Yes.
No, just Sunday.
Sunday.
Just
Okay.
Sunday.
All right.
It's the second Sunday in November every year. This year it's the 10th, and it's from 10 till 5. And the main reason for the show was years ago when I was teaching at Nash Community College. I started when our first year I was teaching and doing it. And it was for all the potters I had. They didn't have a venue to show their pots and wares, so we all got together and we started this show. And it's the Finch Pottery Open House. It's there on the farm,
Right.
And we'll have from 6,000 to 8,000 people come in
Oh, my
during that
goodness.
one day. We'll have 10 people parking cars. There's no admission fee, and it's a good time to get some good deals. We also have face painting. We have tell them about the Santa shop.
Oh, we have a Santa shop for the children from ages 3 to 12.
Oh.
And so our potters have contributed work to the Santa shop, and only 3 to 12-year-olds are allowed in the little booth.
Okay.
And so no adults unless they're accompanied by a parent
Right,
who
okay.
has the money, but typically parents will give their children the money. It's right across from the face painting, and so the kids can stop at face painting and then go across and shop. And oftentimes they'll buy Christmas presents for their grandparents and their parents.
Oh.
So it's kind of a cute thing to
That's
see
sweet.
the little
I
kids
know.
picking
I
up the
know.
pieces and filling of them and feeling which one might make them happy.
Happy. Oh, sweet.
And so it's really cute.
I
And we
bet.
also have the Southern Star Band that will be playing there. They play every year. And
So it's an event that
It is
that
an
is an
event.
entertainment as well.
Yeah, and we have Rebecca Bryant from up in Lynchburg. She plays up on the Parkway.
Right.
And a lot of the venues up there. She'll be walking through
Right.
the tents playing her mandolin.
Oh,
so-
how about that?
And-
So it's well worth coming. It sounds like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Sunday outing
Yeah,
for
whether you-
everybody.
Whether you buy anything or not,
Right,
it's well worth
right.
the adventure. Like I said, there's no admission charge.
Right.
Just come.
And it sounds like the Potters are busy at work, getting
Yes.
everything ready for their
Yes.
little sections and everything.
And we've got a food truck. It has the wood-fired pizza.
Right.
It has
Oh, wow.
barbecue and other sandwiches. What is?
Hamburgers,
Everything.
cheeseburgers,
How
hot
about
dogs.
that? Oh, my
We're really
goodness.
excited to have them with us this year.
That's quite nice. So don't forget, set your clocks for Sunday.
Right.
Sunday, this coming Sunday, November the 10th. Okay.
And the venue is under 5 greenhouses.
Right,
The
right.
greenhouses are 40 by 100. They're all covered.
Oh.
So even in inclement weather,
You can
you're
still
still dry.
come out and enjoy. Well, Lee, can we put a couple of pictures back up on the screen and we'll talk about those? Well, there we go, okay?
Okay. Here I am. I'm finishing off a pot here. This is actually made with coils. And then I would bring the coils up after I add them to the pot.
So now, that looks rather large. Is that a commission piece? Or
No.
is that a piece that you're just doing for maybe a show? Or
I was doing that just to make a piece that size
Oh.
and that shape. In fact, it's sitting on our front porch
How
right now, I
about
think,
that?
or back porch.
How about
Sitting on the
that?
back porch.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty, and let's go to the next one, Lee. Okay, there's the venue you were talking about.
That's the venue, and this is the open house, and everyone's under greenhouses, and you can get some very good Christmas deals because a lot of these potters, a lot of them are very good, and the prices are does not signify as to how good they are.
Right, and I think this would be a wonderful weekend. It's supposed to be a little Christmas in the air, and
Perfect
day to
weekend.
come out, okay?
I think one of the things I'm proudest of about our open house and the venue where our studio potters have the ability to show their work is that there is a lot of functional work and there's a few who are sculptors.
Right,
And there
that's
are
true.
hand builders and throwers, and so there's a wide variety.
Variety of
And
things.
I like to say that our studio potters are able to show their artistic creations and that they can stand up to any group in the state.
There you go.
And in the southeast and beyond that. I'm very proud of our folks.
Well, let's see, let's go to the next one there. Now, okay, there's some of your potters, is that?
This is the Raccoon. We have, there's a process called Raccoon, and you can come in on Sunday the 10th and buy pot for $20, one of my
Right,
pots.
right.
And you can actually put the glaze and the colors on it right there and fire it and have it finished within
How about
well, usually about 45 minutes.
that? Okay.
So the attendees will glaze the pot and have the fun of that. And that's another thing the kids like to do is place glaze, on the pot. And then our team will fire the pot and they'll come back and pick it up.
Okay, then let's go to the next, because I think we got several. Okay,
Okay, this is the Anagama kiln firing.
firing.
It's one of the largest kilns, wood kilns in the state.
Right.
And we fired that 3 times during the past year. It's quite a endeavor to get everyone
guess.
together and load that up. We've had as many as 2,000 pots in it when we're
Oh
firing
my
it.
goodness. All right, Lee, let's go to the next. Okay, and that's
That's
a
it.
finished product.
Yep, that's inside the kiln, probably about the back 1/3 of the kiln.
Right, how about that?
That's about 6 feet tall there.
Okay, doke, my goodness. All right, and let's go next.
Amy?
Okay, yeah.
Now, this is the fun part. There is a door and an opening in that door at the front of Mama, as we call
Mama,
her.
okay.
Mama Anagama. And the various teams throughout a 24-hour period will throw the wood into this door, and then they'll side stoke later, and the flame goes through the kiln and creates the ash glaze that falls onto the pots.
Okay.
So it's quite a time for the teams to have camaraderie.
Right.
And you're sitting there in the middle of the night, and you're throwing the wood in. You're listening to the wish of the wood fire, and magic is happening.
Okay.
And we have people from all over the state, and also from different countries to come in to fire the kiln.
Well, and that's the finish.
That's the finished pots.
Oh, my goodness. Now, we have another one, Lee, that we can show. And that's your beautiful sunset. You were telling us that belongs to you. Okay, next, let's go to the next one. Okay. And that's the usefulness of the pottery. Is that correct? Because you're using the...
Yes. On Thursdays, we cook for the day classes and the nights, and I cook a turkey in a homemade turkey cooker in the electric kiln.
That is phenomenal.
And it's wonderful.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, we have, and this is the show. This is the show. And this is what when you come out Sunday, this is what you'll see. Well, Lee, if you can, thank you so much for showing us the pictures. And I just want to say I am so excited somebody came out on their anniversary and their birthday. Amy, these are for you.
Thank you so much,
and Dan, I was not able to prepare a blueberry cake, but this is the best I could do.
Thank you very
put
much.
blueberries on it. But,
we've enjoyed being here.
Well, thank you. Don't forget, this Sunday,
Yep, at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Which is the second Sunday in November every year. Please come out. We've got plenty going on.
All right. Thank you so much, Amy and Dan. I'd like to thank our sponsors for the whole series. We've got Dale Joyner, Joyner's Funeral Home, Alan Winstead, Farm Bureau, Will Ferris, Attorney, Allison Moy, Womble Realty, and Framers Alley. So again, thank you for being our special guest, and happy anniversary and happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
You are watching Work of Art on WHIG-TV, hosted by Beth Boykin of Framers Alley. Brought to you by Joyner's Funeral Home, serving our community for 4 generations. Located on Raleigh Road, Wilson. Alan Winstead, Farm Bureau Insurance, Wilson. Call 230-1704. Will Ferris Attorney, Ferris & Ferris Law Firm. Located on Nash Street, Wilson. Womble Real Estate, proudly serving our community since 1958. Located at 602B Nash Street, Northeast Wilson. Call 291-1123. Framers Alley, custom framing, proud supporter of artists, Main Street, Elm City.